Big C and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this is the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no-look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT.
You could try to play it, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange.
What up, what up, what up? Fin fans, football fans, Giants fans, football, NFL fans. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Laces Out Live. I am your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers. And y'all know the co-host, Mike Jones. What up, Mikey?
Listen, man, I get to get on here today and finally say, fuck the people that wear the green dirty bird, not the dirty bird, but the fucking green eagle. Fuck them all. Fuck Saquon and fuck them all. Just fuck them totally, because they came into MetLife Stadium unprepared, thinking they were going to walk over us just because we lost to the fucking Saints. This was supposed to be Philadelphia's get right game. And what better of a thing to see than Amazon Prime promoting Saquon's biography and then watch the Eagles get their fucking asses destroyed by the New York Football Giants. I'm happy. I'm happy. What am I going to say?
Oh, you should be, right? You should be. You keep swearing like that, you're going to have the YouTube police on you.
No, that's all right.
But yeah, listen.
Stupid Eagles, stupid green fans. All of them came in there so smug in the beginning. You could see it on their faces, and at the end, you just got to see the devastation, like what is going on. And Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley and Brown can all have their little private meetings in the parking lot for multiple hours at a time because they didn't do a damn thing, and they get what they get. That's what they get.
I mean, this has been a crazy season so far. You know, you look at things that are happening around the league, you know, Indianapolis playing so well, the Eagles struggling, the Chiefs sitting where they're at, the Ravens sitting where they're at. Just a lot of crazy things happening around the league this year. And it's, man, mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. It's a very tricky season. Like, what was our record for picking games last week?
Oh my God. I was 5-9. I went 5-9. You went 3-11. Like, I don't think we've ever had less than 5 wins. Like, that's crazy.
Not even close. Even close. I don't feel like. I mean, I feel like we maybe the lowest 8 wins. You know what I mean? Out of all the games, I don't feel like I've ever been. You know, I was throwing my phone across the room last week with my bets because I was just so far off on so many games. And like usually I'm right there, so close. And it was absolutely crazy how the season has gone so far that, things that you would think are a sure bet aren't. You know what I mean? No one's seen the Giants beating the Eagles by 7. No one's seen them beating the Eagles, period, let alone by 17. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Doubled the input. You know what I mean? Like that. This season has just been wild so far. To be honest, I hope it kind of settles down. You guys seem to have your franchise quarterback. It's still early. He still needs to show me considerably more for me to say, the Giants got their guy. But Cam Scatterbo, man, that dude runs with. He is vicious. He is violent. I wanted the Dolphins to draft Cam Scatterbo. We've had trouble when it's 3rd and 1. It was short yardage to go situations, and I just felt Cam Scatterbo was that perfect player for that position. And of course, we didn't draft him, and you guys did. And listen, he brings such great energy to your football team. Him and Jackson Dart, they got that. And Malik Neighbors, is terrible that he went down with that injury. But you got like a little 3-headed monster over there, and the New York Giants gotta feel good about that, and Brian Dable's probably like shit, I'm probably on my way out, and you guys going with this 3-headed monster, you know what I mean? So whatever, you're probably gonna attract a bunch of good coaching candidates when it comes time to make the change. People, it's gonna be an attractive job.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Yeah, Joe, you needed a touchdown from Theo. I needed just a reception from Theo too, and he dropped that one, man. I was sick. That was for like 600. But yeah, I mean, it just the energy. That's a difference. Like there's a different feel to the team. Just these young guys are bringing to the team. I mean, even the players are saying between Cam and Dart, it's a different feeling that when you got people that are pushing and they believe and they do that kind of thing, you don't see that stuff with Russell Wilson. We didn't see that with Daniel Jones. Really, it's a different feel. You have to have everybody on the same page, and we got a long way to go. There's a long way to go. It's just the beginning, but it was a nice victory, and you could see the energy coming off the New York Giants players. We executed on offense, defense, and special teams. Cordell Flott had an awesome pick. I wish it was for 6, but I mean, I can't. Yeah, it was just, and then we caused a fumble, like causing them turnovers, and like you said, Cam Scatterbo, he's a freaking beast. 3 touchdowns, and he is 2 yards shy of 100, and he just runs, man. He runs. And Jackson Dart, man, he's got those legs. He got a Lamar-esque type deal with his legs, so. It was a little scary. I thought he was injured. He's sitting there laying on the damn ground for 10 minutes, and I'm happy
he's got to show me more with the arm. You know what I mean? Like it's all fine and dandy that he can run and pick up first downs and move the chains, but this is still a passing league, and he needs to show me that he can get it done through the air. You know what I mean? What you have like 111 passing yards the first game. Yep. I'm not sure what he had this game, but you got to be able to throw the football in the NFL too. So, like I said, it's all great that he has that running aspect to his game, but he's got to be able to toss the ball around the yard too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like there was some really good positivity when it comes to that. He hit Wandell in the corner. Should have been a touchdown. It ended up being the pass interference, but I mean, it was beautifully placed. I think some of his throws he needs to set better. A lot of times he's throwing off one foot, and it just the ball seemed to be just a little bit off. But I mean, I think we're gonna be all right as long as he stays healthy, and they keep bringing that attitude and energy. Hopefully things start looking a lot better. And I mean, I can't complain. Anytime we beat the Eagles, I'm not going to complain. But I'm no longer going to bitch about Saquon Barkley and what could have been, because that shit gets old. And to see that he had the biography, did you watch it at all?
I didn't get a chance to see it yet.
It was good. It was good, but and the Giants did kind of treat him like he wasn't nothing, but he at the same time wasn't willing to work with him. So it was what it was, and it's time to move on. It's a new time, it's a new era, and hopefully the future looks bright. And that's all I got to say about that.
The sad thing about Cam Scadaboo is that he's not going to have a long career the way he runs.
Right.
So you got to take advantage. Maybe he's got a good 4 or 5 year career, but he just runs so violently that you can't. Your body cannot take a pounding like that. Like, he gives out punishment. You know what I mean? He's looking to hit defenders, and your body cannot continue to take a beating like that on a weekly basis. But the Giants fans love him, the Giants players love him. Definitely positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, do you want to get into games?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get into some picks, and then we got some bets that you might want to lay down. You know what I mean? Like I said, last week was a wild and wacky bet. My wife won a bunch of money. She actually cashed out. She won $3,000, just under $3,000, but she had cashed out, and it ended up she ended up getting the last leg of her parlay, missed out on $11,000.
That's insane.
11,000. Well, I mean, $8,000 after, you know what I mean? But
yep.
Oh, I mean, she had to take the cash out, and it's crazy because her last leg of her parlay was Deebo Samuel getting a touchdown, and he literally got it in the final seconds of that game in a position that I'm surprised that Washington was even throwing in, because Washington already had the game locked up. It was 4th down. The game was over. They were up 2 scores. There was no need for Washington to pass. 99% of the time, a team's not throwing the ball to the end zone on 4th down when the game's already wrapped up. But for some reason they did. Deebo ends up getting the touchdown, and of course we're sitting here like, what could have been? You know what I mean?
Isn't that how it works, though? Isn't that how it works? I mean, I didn't have a bet for that much money, but I needed Theo to get one more reception, and he just didn't. It was in his hands, and he just couldn't pull it in. And I'm not mad. It would have been different if they lost, but I mean, I needed that one reception for the whole 4th quarter. And I was, so sick. It would have been nice. That's tough, man. I like the betting. I like doing that kind of stuff. But man, when they all click together and there's just that one simple thing, whether it be a reception or 2 yards or whatever it may be, that's tough. All right. Seattle, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's 5th 4-1 start or better in team history, first since 2007. Trevor Lawrence hasn't really been my favorite quarterback. We talked quite down on him. I still don't think he looks the greatest, but he made some really good plays. He made some really good passes, and that game-winning touchdown at the end, man. That was like, I don't even know, dude. Gets his footsteps on, falls down, gets up, damn near falls again, gets up, and then runs for a touchdown. Like, holy hell! I couldn't. That was crazy. But I did not expect Jacksonville to be 4-1. This is going to be, I think this has an opportunity to be a good game, but I'm going to go with the Jags. I'm going to go for the Jags again this week. I think it's going to be a pretty decent scoring game. I got the Jags winning 37-34 in this one.
37-34 Jags.
Yes.
Well, this is the week of coast to coast matchups, right? You got Seattle traveling all the way to Jacksonville. You got the Rams traveling all the way to the Ravens. The Chargers traveling all the way to Miami to play the Dolphins. So this is a week where all those West Coast teams are coming to the East Coast. Listen, Jacksonville has been exceptional this year. Their defense is looking really good. Trevor Lawrence has looked better. He's looked different. Something's looked different about him this year. Travis Etienne, they were talking about benching this guy and possibly him being a trade candidate. at the beginning of the season to him being one of the top backs in the league so far this year.
Right.
They got Brian Thomas Jr. He's a great young wide receiver. Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball here and there. Would still like to see more from him. I think the second half of the season you'll see a considerable jump from him. I think he gets comfortable and definitely helps this team. Seattle under Mike McDonald, though, they've been phenomenal on the road since the beginning of last year. They're 9-1 on the road. 9-1 on the road. I think that I'm going to take Seattle in this game. I'm going to say Seattle wins. They've won 8 straight out of those that 9-1 record. Sam Darnold, I hate doing anything that I hate having any involvement picking with him because I'm just not a Sam Darnold guy. But I think I'm going to take them. Jacksonville does lead the league with 14 takeaways. I don't know. I got a feeling
right?
that, yeah, I got to take Seattle.
I mean, I was taking this one either way as well. So I just went with Jacksonville because I think, just a gut, but I don't like picking for Darnold either. And trust me, you got a score for me, buddy?
27-24.
All right. Titans, Raiders. Geno Smith is playing terrible ball. 9 picks already this season. They just don't look comfortable. I mean, and it's the Raiders. I mean, you weren't expecting much out of them. I don't know. I wasn't. I don't know if you were, but their offense and D isn't any better this year. And then the Titans side, this is really just a throw up game. It's, is Cam Ward going to be able to make the team, and is Geno actually going to show up? And so far, Geno hasn't showed up. I did end up picking the Raiders 23-17 on this one. This was another one that really didn't really matter too much to me, but I went with the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much reason to have confidence in either 1-4 team. They both not been very good. Geno Smith has been horrible for the Raiders. Not what they were expecting when they traded for him. But Tennessee, they won last week against the Cardinals team that absolutely collapsed. They were getting beat the whole game, and then the Cardinals just folded. I don't know what happened to the Cardinals that last couple minutes of that game, but they just folded. But I'm going to go with the Raiders just because they're at home. Tennessee has the 30th ranked rush defense. I'm going to take my chances with Ashton Jeffrey having a big game and Gentry. What am I saying? Jeffrey.
Genty. I do it too.
Yeah. These rookies, sometimes you get used to saying their names. I think he ends up having a big day, and that's why I take the Raiders in this one.
All right. You got a score for me?
Yeah. 2013.
2013. All right. Browns in Pittsburgh. Steelers coming off a bye week. Browns lost 11 straight away from Cleveland. Browns did trade Flacco to the Bengals, making Gabriel the starter. I'm not sold on Aaron Rodgers completely. I think he's doing better, but I mean, I had to go Steelers in this. The Browns defense is phenomenal. So, I mean, if they can get to Aaron Rodgers, he's old, and if they can really disrupt him, we could be talking about a Browns victory. They have a possibility of taking this one. The Browns are getting 5.5 points on this game. I still picked the Steelers. I took the Steelers 27-20.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan Gabriel's getting the opportunity to be the starting quarterback. Like you said, they trade away Joe Flacco. They got a great defense over there. Quentin Judkins has looked good. but this Raiders defense has looked different the last 2 weeks, only giving up 35 points, having 7 takeaways and 11 sacks in that span, 2-game span, which is phenomenal numbers. I just think TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward are going to feast on Dylan Gabriel this game, and I like Pittsburgh. I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins 27-13.
All right. Where's my paperwork? All right. Pat Saints. Patriots Saints. Blah. Saints are getting 3.5 on this one. New England 2-0 on the road this season, and they were 2-7 on the road all of last season. Coming off that big victory in Buffalo, like they actually showed like they're coming around. Obviously, I think we talked about this on Monday, but probably one of the biggest wins for New England since Tom Brady was there. Drake May has arrived. He's a franchise quarterback. I'm taking the Pats unless the Saints do some annihilation bullshit, but I got the Pats 24-21.
Yeah, both teams are coming off big week 5 wins. Listen, the Patriots just need to get out their own way, stopping with the fumbling already. I mean, that's become a major problem for them. I think for the Saints to be able to win this game, they got to be more aggressive downfield. The Saints head coach has been pretty conservative with Spencer Rattler relying too much on quick passing routes instead of pushing the ball downfield. Mm-hmm. The Patriots defense has been dominant against the run, so I don't see them having a lot of running room. So Spencer Rattler is going to have to have a big game for them to have an opportunity. I think he's played better than what the Saints record suggests he's played. Mm-hmm. But this Patriots team, like you said, they coming off the biggest win post Tom Brady era.
Yeah.
I think they're able to ride that wave, and I think they beat the Saints. I think it's going to be close. Though, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints knock the Patriots off. I'm going to take the Patriots 24-23.
Ooh, nice. That's a close one. Got a close one. All right. Denver and the Jets. Hold on. Let me get my paperwork. Right there. Denver Broncos. All right. Jets only win this team left standing. Broncos came off victory over Philly. Give me the Broncos. This was quick. The Broncos defense is on pace to lead in sacks, second straight season. They're holding teams to 16.8 points a game. They're holding teams to under 300 yards a game. They're leading the league with 21 sacks and leading the league with 89 pressures. I just don't see this Jets team being much of a thing for them. They're giving the Jets 7. This is in London, 9:30 a.m., I believe. So, I can't pick the Jets. Sorry, Dad, but I'm going Broncos 34-13.
I mean, the Broncos couldn't feel any better coming off that win against and upsetting the defending Super Bowl champions. A lot's going right for Sean Payton right now. His defense is only, like you spoke about, the defense only giving up 16.8 points per game. They're number 1 in the NFL with 21 sacks. Without 14 have came without blitzing.
Wow.
14 of those sacks came without blitzing. So they're getting pressure without sacrificing the back end of their defense. They rank in the top 3 on third down and red zone defense. They got the 4th ranked rushing attack in all the NFL. This is a really nice matchup for Bo Nix and company. He continues to develop, even though I'm not a big Bo Nix guy. This is the perfect matchup for Bo Nix and his targets. They're going up against the 31st ranked defense in all the NFL. I just don't see how the Jets score points against this Denver defense. So I'm
Yeah.
going to say Denver 24, Jets 6.
Seems plausible. This seems really plausible. Rams, Ravens, the 1-4 Ravens. Lamar Jackson, I believe, is out again. I think they go into a bye after that. So I mean, I'm guessing that's probably the plan, is let him sit until after that. But they're giving the Ravens 7.5. Ravens with Lamar 65-29 without 4-10. You know, they're not the bullies that we expected the Ravens to be. You know, we talked up the Ravens week 1, week 2, kept giving them the benefit of the doubt. And, you know, they just haven't proved that they're going to be something to be worried about this year. So Stafford, he's got weapons, Puka and Stafford, let's just face it, he's a veteran. He's got excellent ball placement when it comes to his passes. I see the Rams taking this one 34-17.
Yeah, Baltimore was absolutely atrocious. I know Lamar Jackson didn't play last week, and this is a different team without Lamar Jackson, but I expected more from Cooper Rush. He was really good at times for the Dallas Cowboys, filling in for Dak Prescott. So I didn't expect them to come out and play the way they did last week. Man, the Rams got the number 2 overall offense in football. Like you said, Matthew Stafford, a veteran, one of the league's best. Devontae Adams, Puka, Kerryon Williams, running back. They got weapons on that side of the football. The Ravens got the second worst, what are they ranked defensively? Second to last in total defense. So that's a huge mismatch there. The Ravens just have so many devastating injuries, from Stanley to Hamilton to Lamar Jackson. They got a list of all. Roquan Smith missed last week. Just a bunch of all pro guys missing time, and they just haven't been very good. Derrick Henry ran wild against the Buffalo Bills week 1 until a late game fumble, gave Buffalo that game. And since then, he just hasn't been good. He's ran the ball 46 times for 148 yards since then, 3.2 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns and 2 fumbles. That's not good. That's not promising. So I like the Rams in this football game. Baltimore is in such a hole right now. It's a crazy world to live in, to think that the Ravens may not make the playoffs. The Chiefs may not make the playoffs. Like, crazy times. That's what I'm talking about. Crazy times right now in the NFL. I like the Rams 31-17. Mike. Yo.
My bad. I must have hit the tool.
I was wondering what took you so long not talking.
Yeah, Cowboys. I didn't say. Cowboys, Panthers. Dallas should run away with this pretty handily. Dak Prescott MVP like season. George Pickens at wide receiver catching those touchdown passes. I just don't see this as being a big thing unless the Panthers do something crazy. I know Rico did put up 206 rushing yards last week and a touchdown. Maybe they can do that again against Dallas. But I still see Dallas taking this one at least 34-21.
Yeah, you're tripping. You didn't see what Rico did against that top-rated Dolphins defense last week? Man, Rico, listen, the Dolphins defense is something serious, and Rico just ran all over them. You know what I mean?
All over him.
Listen, I'm sure Rico would love to come in and have a great game against his former team like he did last week against the Miami Dolphins, where he had 234 total yards, 206 of them on the ground. But although I don't think Dallas's defense is great, I do not think Dallas's defense is nearly as bad as the Miami Dolphins. So, this Carolina Panthers team has a lot of holes. The Dallas Cowboys can put points on the board. Ted McMillan for the Panthers, he looks like a promising star. The Panthers got a lot of things that they can hang their hat on and have promising pieces for the future. But I think Dallas, all these teams in the NFC East have an opportunity because Philly's stumbling. And blood's in the water, and I think Dallas realizes what's at stake. Dak Prescott realizes what's at stake, and they go out and they handle their business, and they beat the Panthers because it's a game that they're supposed to win. And, this puts them in prime position to be able to challenge for that NFC East title. They're sitting at 2-2-1 right now. This gets them in positive territory, and I think Dak has a big day. I'm going to say Dallas wins 34-17.
Yeah, I was trying to be nice about Carolina. You know what I mean? Trying to give them a little bit of something. They did get a win, so. But yeah, they suck. Arizona Cardinals at the Colts. Indy's first 4-1 start since 2013. Cardinals first team in NFL history to lose 3 straight on game-losing field goals. So, I mean, that's got to be tough to lose 3 straight games on field goals, man. I couldn't even – that's got to be really demoralizing. The Cardinals tend to start good, but then they just can't close games out. And, I think with the Colts and Daniel Jones and how they've been playing, I gave this one to the Colts. I think the Colts put some numbers on the cards. I think it's going to be 38-13 Colts.
Yeah, I mean, Arizona started off the season looking good. Kyler Murray's throwing for under 200 yards a game. He's dealing with injuries. This 3-game skid has been rough on the Arizona Cardinals, especially last week when they allowed a rookie quarterback and a very bad Tennessee team to come back they were down at least 15, come back and beat you. I don't think it gets any better here. The Colts haven't felt this good or looked this good since the early 2010s. You know what I mean? When Peyton Manning was the quarterback here.
Yep.
Daniel Jones has had a career resurgence. Jonathan Taylor's playing great football. He may be leading the NFL in rushing yards. I'm not positive on that study. He might. I think he is. Teams have been able to throw the ball all over the field against Arizona. I think Daniel Jones has a good game. I think Jonathan Taylor keeps on his fantastic pace. And I like the Colts to win here 27-17.
Dun, dun, dun. Fair enough. All right. San Francisco at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay's best 5-game start since 2021. Baker is arguably the MVP right now. We haven't seen the Bucs at their best. Mike Evans is still out. A couple of guys on the O-line. Bucky Irvin was out last week. But I'm a Baker fan. Always be wishing him the best. I don't know what the 49ers are up to, but I took the Bucs in this 30-17. I'm going Baker all day.
Well, Baker has played like an MVP this year. Did you see my man Matt Jones last year? He did something for me last week.
Yeah.
He showed me a tremendous amount of toughness that I didn't think that he had. I know the 49ers are kicking themselves for giving Brock Purdy that big contract when you got Mac Jones sitting there playing the way he can. And he can do everything that Brock Purdy can do, and he might be able to do it better. I was pounding the table for the Miami Dolphins to sign Mac Jones as Tua's backup because I felt like they could do a lot of the same things similar. Both Alabama quarterbacks, obviously Mac Jones followed Tua Tagovailoa at Alabama. But Mac Jones is a very accurate, steady quarterback. Doesn't have the strongest arm, but he showed me some grit. Like, he's dealing with some injuries. He continued to get knocked down to the ground by I feel like a better Rams team. Now, did San Francisco win the game yet? But I think the Rams are a better football team than the San Francisco 49ers. And he allowed this better team just beat you up, and you came out and continued to sling the rock and pulled off the victory. But he is dealing with some injuries, and I think that's going to be a little too much on the road against a very good Tampa Bay team. Baker, as good as Mac Jones is playing, Baker Mayfield is playing better. So I'm gonna take Tampa Bay here. But I think it's a very good game, and they keep it close. I'm gonna say 24-21 Tampa.
Yeah, definitely San Francisco has the opportunity to be a good team. It's just the injury bugs, man. Injury bugs. Cincinnati at Green Bay. We touched on this. Bengals picked up Joe Flacco. He's supposed to be starting right from the jump. I guess they're planning on his experience and ability to scan the field to do something for him. And I mean, hey, listen, I don't know if Joe Flacco's had a better set of offensive players sitting out there, playmakers. So, who knows what happens with this? Flacco's old. Yes. He doesn't maneuver like he does. Packers are but the Packers are 2-0 at home. I like to pick the Bengals. I would like to pick the Bengals, but I just don't see it this week. I believe Packers are coming off their bye week. So I got the Packers opening this one up 34-10.
Yeah, the Packers, they made this huge trade for Parsons. They win a couple statement games. They look phenomenal. Where you're definitely ready to crown them the NFC North champions. And then the last 2 weeks, well, they had the bye. So the last 2 out of the last 3 weeks, they had a shocking loss, and then they just forget how to play defense against the Dallas Cowboys and end up at a 40-40 tie.
Yeah.
What's the deal with this Green Bay defense? What's the deal with this Green Bay Packers team? Are they serious? Are they for real? Listen, this can be a get-right game for them. The Cincinnati Bengals have been absolutely horrible. I don't understand the trading for Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Now, Jake Browning's played terrible, but Joe Flacco is a statue back there, and now you got Micah Parsons coming to town. I don't think that ends up good for Cincinnati or Joe Flacco. I agree. I think Green Bay gets right in this game, and they get back on track. I think Green Bay wins 38-9.
Damn. Hey, man, I feel it. Sunday night football. Detroit Lions going to Kansas City. Listen, Kansas City 0-3 in one-score games. And last season they were 11-0. And this was what we kind of talked about this the last season. Is I kept wanting to pick against KC because how many times we were talking. I said, how many times can they win these games that are one-score games at the end? And they just kept doing it and doing it. Obviously, they went 11-0 doing it. Well, something's changed. It's changed. It's 0-3 this season. They're not looking good. Definitely have some adversity to face. I don't think they're out of it by any means. That would be total overkill, but they're playing the Lions, and I think they're top in the power rankings right now. And this is a prove it game for KC. KC fans and the coaching staff even the players are going to be expecting to come in here and shut down people, telling people the Lions, showing people that the Lions ain't nothing. The Chiefs are still relevant, and it's crazy. But you know what? I just don't think they have it. It's going to be a close game. I mean, it's always a close game with Kansas City, it feels like. But I picked Detroit 35-31.
Yeah, Detroit for the last month has looked like the best team in the NFL, where the Kansas City Chiefs are just struggling to hang on. A tough loss against Jacksonville last week. They're sitting at 2-3. They're lucky that the Chargers have had hiccups, or the Chargers could be running away with this division right now. Xavier Worthy back for Patrick Mahomes has helped this football team's offense immensely. They've scored 28 points in back-to-back games for the first time since 2022. That's mind-numbing to think that the Kansas City Chiefs haven't scored 28 points in back-to-back games since 2022. It's absolutely crazy to me. That just shows how good Kansas City's defense has been the last few years to propel them to multiple Super Bowl appearances. But man, oh man, Detroit's secondary is beat up, especially at cornerback. So I think Patrick Mahomes and this passing attack are going to be able to move the ball on Detroit. But can Steve Spagnuolo get his defense playing good enough to stop that two-headed monster running back for Detroit? Detroit just has so many ways they can beat you. I don't think this game ends up being as close as it has been in the past. I think Detroit wins this football game, and I think they put up a bunch of points. I'm going to say they win 35-21.
Hey, man, I feel it too. Last game before we get to the Monday night games, I'm going to let you just go straight for it. This is your game. I will give you my pick right now, though. I got Miami 27-21.
Well, the Miami Dolphins are a ticking time bomb waiting to explode, implode, whatever word you want to use. They at any moment can just blow everything up. This Miami Dolphins team was up 17-0 on a bad Carolina Panthers team, and they failed to win the game, failed to stop a second string running back from running for over 200 yards. Our rookies haven't panned out thus far. Jonah Savaiinaya on the offensive line. Our offensive line's beat up. We're not able to run the football, which makes it impossible for us to be successful with the play action pass. Defensively, we can't stop a nosebleed. Obviously, our secondary was terrible to begin with, and then the amount of injuries we've had on top of that in the secondary is just it's almost crazy. It doesn't seem like real life. First off, we enter the season, even if our defensive backfield was healthy, with the worst set of corners in the whole NFL. And then I don't know the exact number, but we've had it probably at least 4 or 5 or 6 injuries to corners, multiple of them lost for the season. It just doesn't seem like real life. Kenneth Grant has been a disappointment so far. Jordan Phillips been a disappointment. Our pass rush has been a disappointment. We're not able to get pressure unless we blitz multiple people. We're not getting no pressure when we rush 4. Barely any pressure if we rush 5. We got to rush 6 or more people to get any type of pressure on the quarterback, which allows teams to pick us apart. Gaping holes in our run defense allows teams to run all over us. It's bad for Miami right now. It's really bad. I know that the Chargers are struggling right now. They have massive holes on their offensive line, but I don't have the confidence that the Miami Dolphins can get pressure even with some backups on that offensive line. The Chargers' 2 starting running backs are out.
Mhm.
Najee Harris out for the year. Hampton's out for an extended period of time. I don't know.
The
I want
Dolphins
to pick
can't
the
stop the
Dolphins.
run. I mean, but who's gonna run it? Even though the Dolphins can't stop the run, who's gonna run it? I mean,
Listen, you could run it. You could run it at this
oh
point.
come on, I get
I
what you're
mean,
saying, but yeah,
Rico got 9 yards of carry, bro. We're not talking
that's
about,
true.
the run defense got a the run defense is just not good. It's historically bad. Like
Rico's not a bad running back.
we're giving
I
up
don't think he's
174 yards a game, bro.
well.
174 yards a game.
Well, let me tell you, the first 3 games, Herbert is 3-0. Last 2 he's 0-2. 8 yards attempt in the first 3 games, only 5.3 in the second. Touchdown to interception ratio 6-1 in those first 3. They're only 2-3 in this one. The Chargers, they were out. I was ready to call them during those 3 wins. I was like, Chargers are going all the way. It's just kind of like what happens every year. Something happens, but they don't. I just don't think they got it. They're just missing too much right now. And honestly, I think that you guys got a better offense. So
Yeah, I mean, listen, Tua was good last week. Tua was good. Darren Waller's been great for us, but we used him for the first quarter and a half to build a 17-point lead, and then he's non-existent for the rest of the game. Mike McDaniel just completely goes away from him. Like, why? You know what I mean? Yes, his knowledge of the playbook's probably limited, but the guy is a mismatch nightmare. He's 6'6". Throw him out there and throw him over the middle. Let him run the same play over and over again until they can stop it. They got to do something. Now, do the Miami Dolphins have the ability to win this football game? Yes. But I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them. I refuse to pick this team and for them to continue to make me look stupid. I want to say the Dolphins are going to win. I want to say they're going to win so bad, but I refuse to do it until they show me some sort of improvement. So I'm going to say the Chargers win 24-21.
damn, that's the hard thing to do. The hard thing to do, brother.
It's hard because I truly, in my heart, believe that the Dolphins can win this game, but you've let me down too many times this year so far. Tua has not shown me any bit of a killer instinct whatsoever. Again, he played decent football last week, but when we needed him to drive us down the field to win the football game, he's overthrowing passes that he makes in his sleep. Almost gave up a game-losing interception once again. Taking sacks on 3rd and long, 4th and long, like just things you can't do. So until they show improvement, I refuse to pick them.
I respect it. I'll pick him for you. Don't worry. Monday Night Football, Buffalo Bills, Atlanta Falcons. I mean, this is a better get right game for Buffalo. Like I don't think they were expecting to lose against the Patriots. That was a tough loss. I don't see the Falcons really being that big of a deal for Josh Allen as long as they show up. I got the Bills winning this 34-17.
Is it a get right game for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen? Because the Buffalo Bills, and I repeat, and it's not me being a hater, the Buffalo Bills are not as good as the world would like you to think that they are. The Buffalo Bills could very easily have lost that first game against Baltimore. If it wasn't for Baltimore fumbling the football in the last 3 minutes of that game, that would have been a loss. They could have very easily lost to the Saints, could have very easily lost to the Dolphins. They did lose to the Patriots. This team has issues. Now, Josh Allen's a phenomenal player. James Cook has been phenomenal for them also. But they lack a true number 1 receiver. Their defense is not very good, especially against the run. do I expect them to beat Atlanta? I do, but this is not a home run game for Buffalo. I don't think they come out and dominate Atlanta. Atlanta is pretty good against running the football. Don't be surprised if Buffalo drops this football game, especially on the road. Like I said, this is a really weird year, and you're just waiting for a team in the AFC to say, "Hey, I'm here. I'll take the reins. I'll be the favorite to go to the Super Bowl in the AFC." And we've yet to see it, right?
Yeah.
Unless your name's the Indianapolis Colts or the Pittsburgh Steelers, which the Pittsburgh Steelers they've looked good and bad at the same time, even though they're 4-1. They haven't looked. I don't feel like the Pittsburgh Steelers look like they're 4-1. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, are you really, I think it's just a coddled mess in the AFC right now. And I don't know who the favorite is to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl this year. I wish the Miami Dolphins were a better football team because, if ever there was a year to have an opportunity to make some moves, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not have to go to Baltimore. The way that the Baltimore Ravens are sitting right now, the way that the Kansas City Chiefs are sitting right now, even the Buffalo Bills not playing very good football. You'd have the opportunity not have to go to Kansas City and play a game. You'd have an opportunity not to go to Baltimore and play a playoff game. You'd have an opportunity not to go to Buffalo and play a playoff game. You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to necessarily go to them cold winter stadiums and have to win on the road against one of these teams. You could possibly have home playoff games if you were the Miami Dolphins, but we're nowhere near the playoffs. I don't have any dreams or expectations of that happening. So it'd just be nice if we could have, not gone into the season with as many holes as we had, and this general manager knew that we had, and he refused to address them. But yeah, I like Buffalo in this game, even though I think they could lose. I'm going to say Buffalo wins 23-20.
23-20. Damn. All right, brother. Last game of the week, Chicago at Washington. Bears got beat by Washington week 8 last week on that Hail Mary. That was a tough thing. Caleb Williams come a long way. They're getting better every week. Bears are 1-10 after a bye week, but they got a new coach, Ben Johnson. I think that makes the biggest difference. This is my upset of the week. They're giving the Bears 4.5, but I got them upsetting Washington in Washington 31-27.
Yeah, I just don't trust Caleb Williams to this point. Washington looked like a different team last week. Daniels is back. Deebo Samuel's is having a career resurgence. I just think Washington's the better football team here. I like Washington 30-17. I think Daniels has another big game. I think Deebo Samuel scores 2 touchdowns in this one.
Ooh.
I like Washington.
Yep. Hey man, I thought about Washington. This is just my upset of the week. This is my upset of the week, and there's bound to be all kind of upsets. This season has not been far from any kind of predictable. Every time you think something's going on, a team drops or something happens. This has been a wild season, no lie.
Yeah. I got a couple bets for you all. If you all mess with FanDuel, I be on FanDuel. Let me pull them up for you. Oh,
sorry.
What the? Are you clicking on it?
Yeah, I was trying to take off the banner for you.
All right. This is the 6 guy touchdown parlay. I got Hassan Haskins with a rushing touchdown it doesn't have to be a rushing touchdown, just a touchdown for the Los Angeles Chargers. He's filling in for Hampton. He'll be the starting running back. I got Darren Waller scoring a touchdown. Darren Waller has got back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. Last week he had 2, or he had 2 the first week. Rasheed White filling in he'll be the starting back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Trevor Lawrence, 2 rushing touchdowns last week. He's been, they see that he's effective down there in the goal line. I could see that Trevor Lawrence picking up another touchdown this week. Quentin Judkins, I think the Browns will be able to score. He has been their top back so far. He has the ability to get into the end zone. And then Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's kind of that long shot. He's dealing with some injuries, but you always got to worry about Kyler Murray running the football. I threw him in there just to boost the bet up a little bit. He's one of them long shots. If you want to increase your odds of this bet winning, you replace Kyler Murray with Jonathan Taylor, who's had a bunch of touchdowns. I think he might lead the NFL in touchdowns right now. Any number of guys you could put in there to take over that Kyler Murray role. Obviously, you'll get less money, but if you take a $15 bet with this, you'll win $13,362.83. I take donations if you use my picks, and you're feeling generous. And then the other picks I got here, this is more game picks. I also got Darren Waller and Haskins getting touchdowns. I got the Broncos straight up over the Jets. I got the Colts straight up over the Cardinals. I got the Rams straight up over the Ravens. I got the Raiders straight up over the Titans. I got the Detroit Lions -5.5 over the Chiefs. So I got Detroit winning that game by 6 points. And then the other one that's cut off is I got Dallas straight up over Carolina. $10 bet will net you $1,600. I feel confident with this bet. I think this bet is going to hit. I really do. So we will definitely find out, and you'll be able to see if Big C's full of crap or not.
Yeah. That's it. That seemed like a couple good ones. I like the first one. I would obviously change Kyler Murray out. I mean, like you said, that long shot definitely brings that up for you.
Well, yeah,
you never know.
You throw Jonathan Taylor in there, you're probably dropping it from $13,000 win to a $2,000 win, but $2,000 is still very nice.
Yep, absolutely.
Or if you want to push the bet out till Monday, I hate doing that. I hate including the Sunday night and the Monday night games because, if you need one person to get a touchdown, that's a long time to wait to find out if you're going to win. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
that's tough.
If you need your last guy that you need to get a touchdown doesn't play for 24 hours, 36 hours, that's a long time to sit there and be like, oh my God, am I going to win? Am I not going to win? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're willing to wait, like I said, I think Deebo Samuel has a great opportunity to score multiple touchdowns this week.
Damn. Yeah, man, that's all we got. Congratulations to Giants, Jackson Dart, Scatterboo. That defense, offensive line looks good. I'm a happy Giants fan this week. Hopefully they don't disappoint me. Hopefully they keep going. And I know there's gonna be ups and downs, but I'm happy to see the things that we're seeing. Yeah, man. Finally got a victory. Wasn't expecting it. And, I feel good about this team right now. It feels good. It feels just good to win, to be honest.
Yeah, the Dolphins they're a few plays away from, having a winning record. Although the holes on this team right now, you don't feel good about it, even if we would have won those games. Would you really felt like we had a chance to do anything with the way we've been playing? No. So even if we would have pulled off those victories, would have been nice, sure. But in reality, It would have just been that false hopium, that false sense of security, like we're a better team than what we are. And that's not a good way to think neither. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then you get punched in the face when you play a good football team and, oh my God, I thought we were better than what we were. No, well, we're giving up almost 200 yards rushing a game. You know what I mean? Like that's absolutely ridiculous. So, you know, does Mike McDaniel get fired if the Miami Dolphins lose this week? I think it's a real possibility. What's concerning to me about this organization is that they're still not talking about Chris Grier losing his job. All the talk is about Mike McDaniel losing his job, and, you know, the Miami Dolphins may not get rid of both of them. Well, you know, how many opportunities are we going to let Chris Grier get to mess things up? What general manager in major sports do you know gets to have 10 years of bad drafting, 10 years of, you know, in that 10 years, we've went through 3 or 4 different coaching regimes, multiple rebuilds with no playoff wins, no success in the postseason. How many opportunities is this guy going to get?
Right.
At some point, you have to question what's going on inside that organization. And, you know, the conspiracy theorists out there will say, you know, Chris Grier has dirt on Stephen Ross when it comes to the Brian Flores lawsuits. And at this point, how can you argue that? Because what other reason do you have? What other reason do you have to keep this guy around besides he knows some stuff about you and how you've done business in the past that can cost you considerably? You know what I mean?
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, it does, because nothing else makes sense.
Right.
No general manager is allowed to go through 4 coaches, no playoff success, multiple whiffs on drafts. You know what I mean? We could have drafted Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. We've missed on all of those. When our best player we've drafted in 10 years is a cornerback that he was a ball hawk, but he was never the best player in football. You know what I mean? If you look at the list, and I went through it the other day, the list of the top draft picks of Chris Grier's tenure with the Miami Dolphins, and we're talking 10 years, and we're talking about multiple years where we had multiple first-round draft picks. And if you look at that list, by the time you get to 6, 7 on that list, these guys are barely above average. And that's the best you can come up with in 10 years?
Yeah.
So why do you still have a job?
No, I agree. That's bad. Fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. That's crazy.
We shall move on and we shall see what happens. A lot of Dolphins fans are ready just to, you know, have us lose these games and so we can stop the bleeding. I think the right move is to fire Chris Grier first. You go and you find your new GM. You let your new GM decide on whether he'd like to retain Mike McDaniel or not. And you move on from there. If he doesn't want to keep Mike McDaniel, cool. But if he does, cool. You know what I mean? But we need a general manager that Stephen Ross allows to have full power and control. If it takes getting rid of Tua, no matter the financial hardship it'll put on this franchise, that's what needs to be done. If he needs to fire the coach, that's what needs to be done. You know what I mean? But general manager, you have to start at the top, and that's the person that has power over everything. What good head coach is going to want to come in here and you're telling the general manager is going to tell you, well, the owner is going to tell you that you got to have Chris Grier as your general manager.
Yep.
He's going to be responsible for drafting the team for you. If I was a head coach, I'd be like, hell no.
Exactly.
Or even an inspiring head coach. I want this guy drafting my players. Like I said, go look at the list.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to come in and work with Tua Tagovailoa as my quarterback because you were stupid and gave him a contract extension? No, thank you. I'll go somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
why
want
it's
to come in.
important that the general manager is new. It has full control.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be
Because
pointless.
I mean,
Pointless to come into
It's
a job where
point-
you have no say in what's going on. And then you still get blamed for shit when it goes bad anyway. Like that, nah. Hell, I get that. I wouldn't do that
like
either.
I said, Stephen Ross, the year that Lamar Jackson was drafted, Stephen Ross wanted to draft Lamar Jackson. He didn't go to the last pick in the first round. Stephen Ross was in the draft room wanting the Dolphins to draft Lamar Jackson, and Chris Greer threw a fit because he wanted Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he ended up drafting Minkah Fitzpatrick. And Minkah Fitzpatrick's been a great player, but we traded him after a year here because he didn't work out with Brian Flores. We traded him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's where he had the majority of the success in his career.
Mhm.
And could you imagine if Lamar Jackson would have been drafted here? You know what I mean? How different this franchise could be right now. So
Yeah. Bad
who
choices.
knows what happens? But I'm curious. I'm ready for it to start because we have no real opportunity to. We don't have an opportunity to do anything, and it's depressing that I'm sitting here 10 months away from a new football season where I can maybe have some hope again. The off season was long. It was hard doing a podcast because it's all about possibilities. Who you going to sign? Who you're not going to sign? Who you going to release? Who you're not going to release? Who you going to draft? Who you're not going to draft? And your reward is getting to a season and hopefully being competitive and talking about football on a weekly basis. And right now,
Yep.
I feel like I'm back to that off-season spot because nobody wants to sit there and talk about the issues that we have on the field because it's depressing.
Right.
And it's back to, well, who's going to be our head coach? Who can we draft to fill in for these players that aren't working out? Who are we going to keep? Who are we going to get rid of? You know what I mean? It's mind-numbing.
Same shit over and over and over and over. Same efforts with the same results, just same stuff over and over. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't like that either. I'm happy we're finally making different changes, but yeah, it's almost like you guys just got to start blowing your shit up, and you got to start. Like you can't
completely.
from the ground you cannot sit there and do this and then make subtle changes and then try to run it back again next year. You just can't do it. Not at this point. At this point, you do need a reset. Absolutely.
All right, folks, we're going to get out of there. Enjoy your Sunday of football. We love you. We'll be back
on Monday. Overreaction Monday.
But until then, we love you. Fins up.
Go Big Blue.
And we'll see y'all later. Peace.
Big C and Mike Jones, they call the plays in the zone. Spit facts, no cap, straight to the bone. Gritter, roaring gossip, the field's their home. Huddle up, press play, you're never alone. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth. Dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this is the spot. NFL drama, they break it down surgical. Draft day whispers, moves so tactical. Receiver stretching arms, catches vertical. Big C's laugh hitting, vibes so magical. Mike Jones got stats like a human playbook. Big C's insight sharper than a no look. Halftime debates, better than they should. You fumble the podcast, now you misunderstood. Flags fly, refs blind, penalty stack. They calling out the calls, no sugar, just facts. Fantasy picks, who's carrying the pack? Every week they hit harder than a linebacker smack. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Laces out, the mic stays hot. Breaking down the game, every yard, every plot. From kickoffs to OT, they never forgot. Tune into the squad, this the spot. Sunday sermons, but the church is turf. From Lambeau chills to Miami surf. Quarterback questions, they dissect the worth, dropping gems like they mine the earth. Laces out, the mic stays hot, breaking down the game, every yard, every plot from kickoffs to